All right, Big Mac, today is Monday, January 11th. Welcome to the Dog Walk presented by Barstool Sports. We have another snake draft for you. We are joined on Zoom by Ohio State alumni. The Ohio State, I should say. Alumnus, alumna. I don't know what. There's too many alum pronunciations. We got Big F. Big F, how we doing?
I feel great. I told the guys before we started recording, I've been waiting a long time to get this call. Many times I thought about shooting Eddie a DM, say, hey, throw my hat in the ring, but I said no. I'll wait to get the call. Gave the big righty the call today. I'm here. I feel good.
We got you. You got a big game tonight, Big F.
Huge game.
I mean, I know we're recording on Friday, but hey, it's national championship. We want to squeeze one college football topic in here before the season ends. First off, how you feeling? It is Friday. We're a couple days out. A lot can happen from now, but assuming that tonight is the big game, how we feeling?
I feel confident. I mean, if the team that shows up against Clemson shows up against Bama, we win that game, no question. The question is if that team shows up. I feel that team, I really believe, can beat anybody. The way they played. I mean, they beat Clemson at every level. Offensive line, defensive line, secondary, everything. Just beat
the fucking shit out of Clemson.
The shit out of them. That team shows up, they beat Bama, no problem.
I agree with that. I honestly agree with it. That team was unbeatable.
I don't think you can ever say they beat Alabama followed by no problem. Alabama's always a problem.
I'm saying if we pitch another perfect game, I mean, we had a turnover here and there. Like, it wasn't perfect, but it's as close to perfect as you can play a football game, especially against a team as good as Clemson.
You threw a no-hitter with a couple of walks.
For sure. If we throw a no-hitter, we beat Bama.
Yeah,
I feel confident saying that.
So like I said, we're going to do our final kind of college football themed here of the season. But who knows? You know, maybe we'll come in March and be like, you know what, I want to talk. Well, that could be basketball, but who knows? Sure. Maybe in March we'll be like, hey, let's do another football. Who knows? But whatever. Today, we are going to do the official college mascot draft. We are keeping it closed off to football because it's football today. So like Chief brought up a good point, like the San Francisco Dons. You can't take the DePaul Blue Demons. They're a basketball school, so we got to keep it to that. Same rules as the Swedish college quarterback, one from each Power 5, but you could substitute a non-Power 5 for one of the conferences.
The Power 5's today. Power 5's based on the football schedule. So is Notre Dame an ACC school?
Historically, no. Good question. So Notre Dame is not.
Notre Dame's football season is over. They are back to being an independent.
Wait, is Syracuse in the Big East again now?
No. They're in the ACC.
So this
is the type of stuff that gets thrown around and people forget about it. We get in the third round, people start going at each other's throats.
So I want to ask this too. So if you choose to go outside Power 5, then could that be a non-traditional football school?
No, you got to stay football.
It's got to be. It's got to stay. It can be. Okay. Yeah. So I think was there 120 D1 programs? So it's got to be one of those 120.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right. So. Pretty straightforward, I guess. Well, probably not because nothing is straightforward on this show. Also, congratulations to Carl. Carl won the 1994 movie draft. Very close race. I think I was right there with you. I thought you had a good draft. But please, if you guys want to shower any blame for anything on me, now's your time.
Now, I wish you didn't do it like that because we could have a collaborative conversation. But then when you say that, now I feel nervous to tell you, like, what if I want to compliment you?
Well, because I look left and I see Chief's eyes. And I just know nothing's good coming from that place.
I've moved on. I'm focused on this draft today.
Are you mad about being left off the graphic?
I wouldn't say I'm mad. I'm disappointed in the public that they don't have an appreciation for Quiz Show. They don't have an appreciation for Iron Will. Like, those are big time movies that people should know about and appreciate, and they don't. And that's really more on them than it's on me. But it is.
At what point is it on you to know that the audience isn't going to have a high value?
Sometimes it's like. You don't. What's that old expression? You don't get better playing tennis against somebody worse than you. I'm going against the public. I'm raising awareness for these things. I'm trying to make the audience better. That's why I bring you burrata salad. That's why I bring you Iron Will. Because those are things that people should know about. And if I'm not going to say it, then nobody will.
It sounds like he's got a complete total lack of accountability for having a bad draft.
I
wish I was there.
Quiz Show is an awesome
lack
movie.
of accountability has been going on for a fucking year with this guy at this point.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's true.
That you can't say that.
When do we?
Is that slander? Is that slander?
Time out. At points it has.
Where? Okay. Where's the lack of accountability?
Because you show up fucking snot bubble hungover the day after that one day. That's
all right. How many of these have we done? I've had a couple instances where I maybe wasn't as prepared as I should have been.
All right. However, you did say I had a bad draft. I'm off the ground midway, so you did take accountability. Yeah. So it's okay. Yeah. My apologies. Commissioner Ed, apologize.
Legends of the Fall, third round.
Welcome back as well.
It's good to be back. That when you sent the draft topic for that, I was in Vegas, as everybody knows, and I fully planned on doing it. Unfortunately, my friend who I was in Vegas with had an awful allergic reaction to the point where we were near taking him to the hospital, couldn't breathe, hives everywhere.
Is it true that you pulled a Pulp Fiction scene, a 1994 movie, and stabbed him in the heart with an EpiPen?
He actually did stab himself with an EpiPen, but which is the only reason that we didn't have to take him to the hospital. But nice, excellent line drop right there. That would have been my number one overall pick if I had the number one overall pick. That's one of my probably top 3 movies ever. Absolutely fucking love that movie. Quentin Tarantino's best work in my opinion, and he's got a long line of great work. So I was very disappointed I couldn't be a part of that draft.
Yep. Well, we missed you, Dave. Glad you're here. And I think we could, Carl, anything else? Sorry, I didn't really give you
I thought that the voting with the anonymous stuff, I'm just getting used to, because Tuesday nights I would not sleep because the poll would get released, and then you're just on it. You're just in the poll. People are mentioning you, hey, Chief sucks, White Sox Dave, this and that. Now it's almost like a silent period. Now it's like Tuesday night comes out, and I almost feel like I got to turn my phone off.
Do they say
and
Chief
just get away? So
you know what fucking blows?
What?
I have bocce on Tuesday nights now. So I lit off that graphic, and then I went in, and I didn't see anything until like 4 hours later. Yeah. And I was like, I'm just,
You're way behind. 4 hours later, you can't do anything.
I know I'm just lighting that match and just leaving it, and I don't want to leave the match.
Now I got a question for you two.
Yeah.
And Tom, and the guest who was on.
He has a
Jack
name.
Mack and Rear Admiral. Did Ed pull any, communist acts?
You know what, actually?
Before or during the podcast? I listened to the show, but did, off camera even?
No, I think that everything was mostly above board in that.
So he
game.
tamed his rule.
Okay. One of the feedback, one of the things we heard was that without you, Dave, it was too polite and cordial. Like we were like, oh, good pick, and then we talked about the movie and we were positive, like, oh, I haven't seen that one. Oh, I got to check that out. Like when Dave's in the room, it's like, oh, you motherfucker.
There was I would say I got about a half dozen tweets saying it wasn't the same without me interjecting with all my stories, which.
I like it.
And they would always say shitty stories. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I have a lot of stories.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Fuck is that
you're the one
to
telling those shitty stories for a living, buddy. Don't listen to those fuckers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, Dave.
Eddie, what was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're right.
Well, Dave.
I love my shitty stories. My shitty stories could write a fucking book on their own right now, like Kramer and
Dave has shitty stories.
But that's how it would have to get published. You'd have to sell the stories to somebody, and they would have to do the writing. I can't imagine you sitting there writing stuff.
Fuck no.
Yeah. So shout out to
everyone,
whoever you're going to mention this show, Dave, that relates to the topic.
Big Ev, you're doing a great job, man, because it's got to be so hard while the four of us are just yelling at each other in this room. You're like, when do I start drafting mascots?
Bro, I'm calm, cool, collected. I'm just ready. I'm ready to go.
Yeah. No, my fault too. I got to tell the guests from now on, hey, just give us 5 to 10. And then we'll get going because we always got a lot of shit that we got to sort out. Yeah, and then we get going. But I think we've settled them, and I think we're ready to go here. The draft, like Carl said, is college mascots. We went over.
We're not talking names.
No, we're talking the physical appearance of the mascot. Here's the draft order. It is myself. I had the first pick, and I had the option to pick first, and I took first. Kind of regret that, but White Sox Dave second. Big Ev is third. Carl is fourth. Chief is fifth. So I guess we'll just kick it off here. No ad today, by the way, so no worries about that.
I was just going to bring that up.
Another thing less to blame on me. But all right, I'm going to go. I took it because I think this one is widely regarded across the board. It's an awesome mascot. And then I kind of fucked with my head. I went back and forth, but I'm still confident in it. I think number one overall has got to be the Oregon Duck.
The Oregon Duck's pretty fucking funny.
It's a good pick.
It's a good, solid pick. I don't know. That's not what I was thinking. Clear 1-1.
I'm surprised you don't know his name. I don't know his name either, but
I don't know if he has one. I did a little research today. He's listed as both the Duck and Donald. So I don't know which one it is either. I think it's just the Duck.
I don't like Donald. No, separate my ducks. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I think he's just a duck.
Okay.
Oregon.
Yep.
When he sprints out of the locker room at home games, it's really fucking funny.
He's got the fucking sailor cap on.
Yeah.
Does the motorcycle? I've seen him do that. Like he's the Duck is a good pick.
He's like, I'm very, very okay. Listen, to each their own, but I'm very okay with the Duck going number 1 overall in our draft.
I would say Lee Corso made the Duck.
Because
The
You think
Duck,
so?
Yeah.
I think him putting that hat, the head on, and like he took the Duck to a different level. Like the Duck became kind of like almost like a pop culture thing where he's doing all these different commercials, like unlike any other mascot. The Duck's got Lee Corso. You should write him a thank you letter for going
the
1-1
one
in this
commercial
draft.
for ESPN's the Sports Center commercial specifically, they have the duck hammering the keyboard with his big
Yep.
fat foam
Yep.
fingers, and then he looks outside in the pond, and there's actual real ducks in the pond. And he just leans back in his chair and is like all serene and just happy looking at the
Yeah.
ducks.
It's a classic.
He's in the cube just like the rest of us assholes. What a fucking great commercial.
It's a
Actually, you know
classic.
what? I just talked myself into liking that pick.
See? And I also think, well, never mind. I don't have to go too far in this, but if you look at categories, I like where the Duck's at as well. So Pac-12, Oregon Duck, Big Ev, any problems?
No, I like the pick. I don't think this is a draft where there's like a clear-cut one. I think there's probably like a big group of guys that people consider kind of like the top-tier mascot. I don't hate the Duck at all. I like the sailor cap.
Yeah, I
colors.
do hope that this doesn't turn into like a big, whichever college football fan base just like takes over. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure.
We don't want the Tennessee Orange Crush. Sorry, Carl, to just come in and just ram the vote. But whatever, you get what I'm saying. Oregon Duck number 1 overall. White Sox Dave, you're on the clock.
Now, I did not think you were going to go with the Duck personally, and I was the default pick, so I was handed number 2, and if I would have won the second, like 1 second after Ed, I would have taken the second pick. So I'm glad with my draft spot. Because I thought there was 3 that like should be argued to go number 1, and I'd be happy with my second pick. And because of that, I got to go with Ugga the Bulldog.
That was my other one.
Yeah, Ugga the Bulldog.
Hand up, swear to God, that was my other one.
I mean, it's such a perfect mascot for many reasons. Obviously, everybody loves a fat waddling bulldog. They're adorable. They're funny. And then the state like initials are UGA. It just fits perfectly. So I got to go Ugga the Bulldog.
yeah, like that pudgy white
Yeah,
fuck waddling out.
exactly.
Like it's amazing. Ugga's awesome.
All-time mascot moment when he tried to bite the player in Auburn. Like
I thought it was LSU, but he like almost bit his dick off.
Yeah, like he lunged at him.
Yeah.
Like that's like you want that. Like
And
this is a hostile territory.
the player
the
was like,
dog is
"Whoa."
coming after you. Yeah. So I like Ugga too. Ugga's a great one. Yeah, great. I mean, like you can't really argue anything against Ugga. And if you do argue against Ugga, you're a psychopath.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. Ugga's an awesome pick. I love Ugga, and like I said, that was the literally. I was like, I'll just take the Duck. I'll take
just,
number 1 overall.
Like if I were rubbing up and petting his ears, I'd be like, Ugga.
But Ugga for some
Ugga.
for some reason hopped into my brain at the end there. But Ugga. You're right. Ugga, Carl, Big Ev, anything?
Great pick.
No,
It's chalk.
It's
but
chalk.
you gotta go with
There's
it.
a reason it's chalk. It's the right pick. He
Yeah.
was who I had in mind. He's definitely in that A-list group of mascots. Can't fault the pick.
All right. So I think Ev, I think you're on the clock.
I mean, national championship. What kind of man would I be not to take Brutus the Buckeye? Great mascot. The guy's a nut. And not only just football, he's everywhere. He's at football games. He's basketball games. You might be walking to science class. He'll catch you on the oval. He's everywhere. Brutus the Buckeye, no-brainer, great name, the alliteration, great mascot. He's nuts. The guy's wild. Brutus the Buckeye, Big Ten, easy.
You can't hate on it. Like I don't like Ohio State. No offense, Ev. I kind of like if I was going to pick a Big Ten school that I was like fuck them, it would be Ohio State. Not this week. Big Ten. I think everybody here is in Big Ten country.
Yes.
We're all pulling for you this week. But I love Brutus. Brutus is a great mascot.
He's awesome. Not even just the name, and he's also the first mascot head that Lee Corso ever put on. Brutus,
Ooh,
That's a good fun
That's
fact.
a good fact
first
too.
one ever. I believe 96.
Joe
I like
Germain.
that.
Did not know that. I honestly didn't even have him on my list, though. I think
Really?
he's somewhat.
See,
I
I
don't know.
think he's a first round mascot.
I wouldn't say so at all. Like he doesn't do too much for me.
I think it's debatable that he's first runner. I think he's very good. He's in the upper echelon, but I think it's a no-brainer for Big Ev.
Has to.
Yeah,
You have to do
can't
it.
pass that up. You'd get your OSU card taken from you.
Yeah.
I didn't have it on my board, but only out of respect for Big F.
Oh, that's-
I was not going to take him.
See, I mean, this kid
To
just
be a
has
nice
no balls.
guest.
He has no killer instinct, no gumption.
No, gumption's a good word.
I like that word too.
I don't know if I used it right in context
Gumption.
right there, but it feels like I did.
Who
I
gives
think
a
you
fuck,
did.
Dave?
Yeah.
Dave, feel free to drop as many gumptions as you want on this show.
I'm just gonna slide them in on radio here and there, and just.
All right.
I want
Don't
you to be on
overuse
your toes
it.
for
Fuck
that.
yeah. All right, Carl. What does your gumption tell you?
Am I up?
I want you to
Yeah.
be really gumped right here.
I'm enjoying this draft. I'm telling you, because I sit here while you guys do your drafts and people are making their picks, and I'm updating my spreadsheet. I'm just like thinking about it, and so the 94 movie draft, I was like, okay, you know where this is going to be at the end of the second round. You know, we did the Christmas movie draft. You knew where you were going to be at the end of the second round. Songs, you knew where you'd be at the end of the third round. Like, what songs definitely were going to be going. This mascot's fun because I don't think there's a clear-cut first. I think there's probably like 12 to 15 mascots. Someone could stand here and scream at me and say, this is a first-round fucking mascot. So I think it's really just about your own personal preference. That said, I love a mascot you look at and you're like, you shouldn't be a mascot, and that's the Syracuse Orange. The Syracuse Orange is one of the funniest looking mascots. You see it up and down on the sidelines of the game. It's just like, what are you? I'm an orange. You know how oftentimes you're like, hey, what is that mascot name? Like, what is a Tar Heel? Like, what exactly is whatever it is? You know, what's a Hokie? No. This is just an orange. It's just a plump, plush orange.
And it's funny because there's no way in fucking hell you can grow oranges in Syracuse, New York.
Well, they used to be the Orange Men.
Yeah, I know.
Which is, but they're one of the only schools that were able to move away from like their racist, we'll call, mascot and be like, but our team name, but our mascot's good. Like we're gonna drop the men. We're just gonna be an orange blob, and everybody loves it.
Yeah,
and his
like
name is
man.
has a name. His name is Otto the Orange, which is also a
Otto's
great
a cool name.
Otto the Orange, first round pick for me, and I get to get out of the ACC now. I don't love the ACC.
You know what I
the
hate?
ACC was a problem with the quarterbacks. I think the ACC is gonna be a problem with mascots. That's true.
Now,
I think the ACC has some good ones.
well,
That
but
is the
I'll
number
say
one,
this:
though.
Otto the Orange, definitely a first rounder.
For sure.
Definitely a first rounder.
I thought he was a top 3.
I could have gone for that too. Actually, I think there's someone in your spot. I'll see if you take him or not. But regardless,
Oh, well, I mean, there's.
but I think like
I'm not gonna miracle Chief.
if it goes though, it's going to be very similar to me, like 1994. Movie draft. But I think like these are pretty clear cut. But regardless, to each their own. Otto's a great pick. The orange is awesome.
This is a to each their own spot.
Yeah.
And I'm going for the one that is near and dear to my heart because I have one of them. I'm taking Smokey, the Tennessee dog, the coonhound. I own a coonhound. His name is George. I have to take Smokey. Like, I love the look of that dog. I love a live mascot, and I think Smokey is just like a sweet looking dog, and that's kind of why I got one. So I would be disgusted with myself, and George would never look at me the same if I took something else there. So I'm taking Smokey, University of Tennessee.
I was just about to say right after Carl's pick that I hate this draft so far because we don't hate any of each other's picks. Like, we all love each other's picks so far.
It's another one though. It's another one where I feel like with Big Ev and Brutus, Smokey's awesome, but I do think like there could have been someone else there. However, given that you have the fucking dog, you got to go Smokey.
If there's a way to say that Chief has the dog on the graphic, like Chief currently owns this style.
No,
of
you can't
dog.
do that.
I know you can't do it.
Can't do it.
But that
and
would
also, I wanted to
solidify
ask
it.
this: are you going graphics, like actual pictures of?
I think our friend Ken Jack opened it up to keep like doing it for us. So if he wants to do that,
Well, that's great service.
Yeah,
He did a great
listen,
job.
listen. I do feel no offense to my guy Youngstown Bob. He did a great job on him too for a year. I feel bad jumping out from him, but Ken Jack does a
He's an
really good
artist.
job on
Yeah.
them too.
Yeah, I mean,
so.
it's a progression of,
yeah.
So it's to me again, right? Now I feel
We're in
like
the second round.
we're in the second round. This is another one where I feel like you guys might not agree necessarily.
You mean us or the audience?
Both. You guys seem to be more in line with the audience historically than I am. I have to do it. I think the Pac-12 is a little light. I love Ralphie. I love the live bison running out of the tunnel, getting everybody all jacked up. Bison is it's America's #1 mammal. I think Obama dictated him that he's the official mammal of the United States. So I like that, and I just think it's a sweet fucking animal, and I love Ralphie. I love Ralphie. I love that's something that's a pregame tradition where you see a bison running across the 50-yard line. That's sweet. It would be better if Colorado was good like they were when I was a kid. So I think everybody would identify it more, but they just suck. So I might have a a hard time there. But I love it. So I'm going Ralphie, Colorado, Pac-12. My Pac-12 picks off the board.
Ralphie's awesome. I don't know who fucking signs up for that job to kind of corral him.
Exactly.
Because that's a fucking
those things are big as fucking
mission.
cars and could just like if they get pissed off and kick you, your fucking ribs are shattered and you're dead. Like they'll impale you. So whoever does it.
How much longer is Ralphie allowed?
What do you mean?
Oh,
Like, I
before
just feel
PETA
like,
kicks
Probably
in.
forever.
You think so?
Yeah, they probably have because it's the University of Colorado or Colorado University, whichever one. But in Boulder, they definitely have that. Buffalo probably has, all the acreage to roam on and is probably treated better than any Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
Lives
they're
a
treated
good
like
life.
kings.
But to let it fucking stampede out of the gate and run across the field,
It's awesome.
Booster money,
it's
man.
great. It's great. I agree. It's a good pick, especially like you said. Pac-12's a little thin, but
Dumb story time, if you guys want
let
one.
Dave please use your best
I
gumption
grew
here.
up about a mile or so from a pack of buffaloes.
No, you didn't.
I swear to God, they have a buffalo ranch in Fermilab.
And Fermilab, yes,
Chief
they do.
can attest to
they
that.
do.
Can,
Bison
can anybody claim
bison,
Fermilab?
yeah.
Fermilab's
No,
like,
it's federal
Sweden.
property.
I mean, like I'm pretty sure it's more like
It's
it's
in
the
between
Illuminati
Warrenville.
property.
That's where that's named after Enrico Fermi, who split the atom.
Yeah.
With Einstein.
Yeah, a lot of crazy shit happens.
Oh yeah,
there.
they after 9/11, it's like on lockdown. You can't really go back there. We used to ride our bikes there to go to Cougars games, like through it.
Ralphie can run at
Did you
25
enjoy that
miles
dumb
an hour.
story?
Thank you, David. Big Ev. Oh, 2 live mascots. I like that. So, Big Ev, you like those 2 live? Smokey, Ralphie, back to back.
I'm not as big on Smokey. I love Ralphie. Smokey, I think what it is with me is I think with so many good live dogs, I don't know if he falls near the top for me in terms of all the live dogs. We already had Ugga. There's a few others on the board. I don't know. I love Ralphie though. Love Ralphie. I don't know if I've ever seen a buffalo in person.
I have. I was just in Colorado. They have this one. If you drive a little bit north of Denver, there's like a buffalo reserve, like forest preserve,
Yeah.
right next to the highway. You just drive by and it's like, oh, there's like 300 buffalo right there.
I mean, as far as I'm aware, in like 1800s, when America was becoming like an industrial nation, they just roamed. They were everywhere in the Great Plains, like everywhere.
You want a fun fact?
I would love a fun fact.
I feel like this is going to be a fact check, not a fun fact.
No, there was I think it was Lewis and Clark. They were writing in their journal that there would be swaths of grasslands just picked dry from bison herds 7 miles wide. So like if you picture a herd that could like take all the grass out 7 miles wide because they're just running through and eating all the grass, that's a lot of fucking bison.
It's a lot of
That's
bison.
a lot of Ralphies.
All right, so 2 live. Smokey and Ralphie off the board for Chief. Carl, we're back to you.
I do want to make a personal note that Chief Illiniwek's not eligible for my draft because he's a symbol to the University of Illinois. He's not a mascot. That means something to me. So there's some people out there. Is Carl going to take Chief Illiniwek? There's just certain things like the War Eagle for Auburn is a symbol. That's not a mascot. It's a ceremony they do before the game. So like Chief Illiniwek was not about jumping around on the sidelines and cheering for him. They actually used Chief Illiniwek in EA Sports College Basketball 2005, and they have a video game version of the NCAA game, and Chief Illiniwek is running up and down the baseline. It's insane to think about that 15 years later.
Wow.
We're not taking Chief Illiniwek. That's obviously a lot of their stuff with Fighting Illini, but I have to make that stance as I'm saying it about Brutus. I feel it in my plums to say that as the Fighting Illini guy. That was a long-winded intro. With that, I'll be quick in my next pick. Second round, I'm taking Pistol Pete from Oklahoma State. I'm taking who I think is the number one mascot, like costume mascot in the Big 12, and I don't like the Big 12 historically. So
Interesting.
Pistol Pete.
He's
Pistol
good.
Pete's a good one.
He's
Yeah.
very good with the
I think
double
he's
six
first round
shooters.
pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got some swag.
Yep.
He's got something about him.
oversized head.
He's got an aura.
Oh, fuck.
Pistol Pete.
Did
Big
you want
Ev.
Pistol Pete, Ev?
I did. I love Pistol Pete.
Were you going there next, really?
I was highly considering it. They're in my 1 or 2, so you're going to get the other one.
Okay, yeah, and I
love
would
Pistol
also
Pete.
say another place that's a little thin is Big 12. So I would say that's good. That's a good pick.
I don't want to be leading everybody
It's a
down
solid
to the
pick.
Big 12 water here, but if you do,
I don't think it's the best Big 12 though.
I don't think so either.
Yeah,
oh, that's fine.
I don't think it's the best one.
That's fine.
But Pistol Pete, nevertheless, it's a solid one. It's a good one.
I'm live animals. I'll get later in the show if that's what you mean.
All right, Big Ev, you're up.
I'm going to stay in the Big 12, who I think is another chalk one. Bevo. Bevo, Texas. Just that big motherfucker in the cage on the sideline, those massive longhorns. You might see McConaughey over there. I mean, Bevo's an all-time college mascot. Love Bevo. Texas, I mean, the longhorns, everything just, I think Bevo's chalk, but I couldn't pass up here in round 2.
We're on to Bevo 15. We did a little pre-show research on Bevo. So I agree. Bevo is like an all-time, like that is to me like college football. Like you talk about like that part of the pageantry. That's what like you could make an argument that Bevo should have been the first overall pick in my book. So you got him in the second round. That's a great pick.
I felt at 8 I was getting a steal. The value was too strong.
Mm-hmm. Great pick. Everybody loves Bevo.
Bevo's good, and like you said, just Texas football is college football.
Yep.
Even still. And Bevo is college football.
He really is.
So, Bevo's great. Like Chiefs, I was worried beforehand. I was like, because I know he just died maybe last year or something.
2016.
I was like, oh, fuck, how does that work? If I bring him up, is that going to be like a dick move? But no, we're on Bevo 15. They just keep the name, swap out. Is that points off? Is that points added?
No, I mean, we're on August 7 or 8 too from Georgia.
Pretty much. I think even Ralphie's on like 7 or 8. Like they pretty much all are deep into it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
15 seems like a lot though.
A lot of tradition. It's a big animal.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, the thing is, you have to have it at its mature state. So I don't know how old that cow is, but you would imagine like the first 30% of its life probably not prepared to be in the stadium, and then also like the last 30% of its life you probably want it out grazing and like out of respect. Like the last thing you want to find out is, wait, we just found out it died.
Bevo 14 died of cancer.
Okay.
Tragic.
But you don't. But to die of natural causes, like dying of old age, like while you're still on the job, would be real tough.
That'd be tough.
So, come on, guys, what are we doing?
It's like a hot day. Bevo
like
just collapses.
We just like work Bevo to death.
Yeah,
that would be terrible.
I think you want to be more conservative than less when managing your livestock.
I agree.
We were talking about this prior to the show. Bevo's just an awesome fucking nickname for anything.
Well, now that he's taken
such an A+ nickname.
This is a good mascot because it's like mascots. To me, I just can't get over like a mascot's a guy in a costume, So I do respect live action mascots, and I'm starting to see those get filled up quite a bit here. But
do you think the Bevos, like, because I'm sure when they're like going to pick Bevo 15, they have like auditions?
Oh yeah.
Do you think like among like the Longhorn community, they're like, man,
it's probably a huge
like
deal for cattle breeders, or there's probably
I'm talking about the cows themselves.
Oh
yeah,
no, I
they're
don't
just
know.
like, I want to be Bevo.
I like how Carl used the correct pluralization of cow and cattle. No such thing as cows. It's just cattle.
Well, I fucked
like
up,
deers
Dave.
and deer.
Hey, Bevo, I fucked up.
Yeah, apologize to Bevo.
We're going to start calling Dave Bevo.
I don't mind that. I would love
Dave
to be a
looked at
Bevo.
us dead in the eyes after we were talking about Bevo beforehand. He's like, "Could you guys start calling me Bevo?"
I didn't say it like that. I'm like, if you guys want to, like, I wouldn't hate it.
There's that Seinfeld episode where George tries to be T-Bone, and then it ends up being like Coco the monkey. I feel like maybe we should just call it Dave Coco. Coco the monkey.
That'd be kind of weird.
Oh, man.
It would be weird.
All right, yeah. Bevo's great pick, Big Ev. White Sox Dave, to you.
I'm going to stay in the live sort of animal. I guess we are animals. I'm going to go to the ACC. I'm going to go to Chief Osceola and Renegade with Florida State. I love a good Appaloosa horse. Appaloosa, in case you don't know, has got like a Dalmatian pattern to their horse. And when he, like prior to the game, when he spears the 50-yard line, it's awesome. And it's a great, like they're paying homage to the Seminole Native American tribe, and I think it's just an awesome mascot, and that's like the only good person mascot, even though he's kind of paired with a horse. But
I mean, I love that one.
It's a fucking great mascot.
When he throws that flaming spear into the logo on the 50-yard line, like remember those old Florida State Miami games? You're like, and he throws that spear, you're like, oh fuck, like it's on right now. Let's fucking go. And I was hoping that would sneak back to me somehow, but
like, so I think I can speak for myself, Ed and Carl. Like, we all went to small schools and that don't give a shit about sports. Ev, you didn't. You went to Ohio State. I wish like I could be in the student section at Florida State as a student, and I would get so fucking pumped up to watch them play the U or Florida or whoever. And Chief Osceola is just cruising out of the tunnel with that horse and the flaming spear, planting it at the 50-yard line. Said, "Let's beat the fuck out of Tim Tebow and our interstate rivals or whatever." That'd be awesome.
That's one of those mascots that's so good that I convinced myself that college football in general is better when Florida State is in big games, and I feel the same way about like Bevo when they run him out. Like there's just something about it.
It's not like the Bears games are awesome. I love the Bears, but like you don't get that in the NFL.
You can't. It's
Can't.
impossible.
Yeah.
Is there anything here, Carl? You're probably our best expert on this, but I don't want to call you an expert because I don't want to put you in that spot. But is this a symbol as well? How does that work?
He's their official mascot.
Really?
Florida, the Seminole tribe is very on board with Florida State.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a good relationship that goes back.
Mm-hmm.
I think the university takes care of them, and it's hard to talk about those because everything's so like specific. Those relationships,
Yep.
Are very like tribal, like one-on-one relationships. But
All right. So Osceola, Chief Osceola, Florida State is off the board. It's back to me. Man, I'm gonna bind. I'll be honest with you.
You're regretting that first.
I'm
pick.
regretting it because one of them who I thought is still there, but like now I'm like kind of worried about it. All right. Regardless, I'm gonna go live animal, and I'm going to go to the SEC, and I'm gonna go with Mike the Tiger. Mike the Tiger. I mean, he sits there, and everyone fucking is terrified of it because it's a fucking tiger firsthand, and he's just part of Death Valley at this point. He's always involved in big games. People love Mike the Tiger. So
of the Tigers you could have taken, he's the clear number one.
yeah,
Yeah, like if you still have a tiger on your board, you might as well not even take it because you're taking an inferior tiger.
I would agree. So yeah, Mike the Tiger is my pick. LSU, Dave, Big Ev, anything?
I think it's.
don't
I mean,
like
the
Mike the
tiger's
Tiger?
a fucking sweet animal, but I don't
the
feel
fact
it in
that
my
it's-
plums like I do with the other live animals we've taken so far.
But the fact that his name is Mike adds to it, in my opinion.
It does, and then LSU also, in my opinion, has the sweetest midfield logo where it's just the eye, and it's like that kind of plays into like they just do Tigers right in general down there. The Bayou Bengals, like that's another like sweet little take on it.
Go Tiger.
Go Tigers!
Yeah.
So yeah, I love Mike the Tiger. It was definitely, if I wasn't taking Smokey, I was going to take him from the SEC.
No, I like it. It's one of those. It's not the. I feel like for some reason, for a tiger, you would think flashy. I feel like he's not the flashiest tiger, but he's just a rock solid mascot. And tigers are just awesome. Big year for tigers too.
Big year for Tigers, Big Ev. You got that right.
that is true. That's a good point.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the ACC next. I'm gonna go with the Blue Devil, man. I'm gonna go with the Blue Devil.
interesting. We'll see how the graphic responds to this because you're bringing people in, you're pushing people away right away.
That is very true.
Right away.
I know, I understand that, but I still think even the haters would agree that the Blue Devil looks legit. It kind of looks like Coach K, which is
It's true.
part of the lore. The Blue Devil, I think it's inarguable that it's a top ACC mascot for sure. So I'm gonna go with the Blue Devil.
Here's the problem with it, though. We have pinned this as a football draft.
You're right.
The
You're right.
Blue Devil is a fucking doormat when it comes to football.
That is very true.
I get it.
historically.
Thank you for bringing that up because I didn't think of it like that. And yeah, he doesn't do fucking shit at fucking football games for Duke.
He's there though. Listen,
In front of 12,000 people.
I mean, they're not the fucking like historically the last 5 to 10 years. They haven't been the worst fucking ACC team. They've been hanging around.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, come on, Big Ev. Daniel Jones.
Let's go.
I like Cutcliffe as a
Daniel
coach,
Jones.
but
He's just a little too old. Yeah. Had a great run though.
And I'll also be able to explain that a little more as the draft goes on. But I'll just leave it at that.
You know what? This is the first time I'm gonna say this in this draft so far. That pick stinks.
yeah, I don't like to pick it. I think
That
you're
pick stinks.
I think you're on tilt officially.
no, I don't think so.
Know what?
I
He
don't
is
agree
on
so.
tilt.
He's been
on tilt.
You saying Blue Devil?
Yeah. You think Blue Devil's bad?
No, I think if you look at the ACC board, it's like.
Well,
You
here's
know-
but I have a big problem with that right now. Can I just say it? Can I talk about
No,
other
you can't
picks?
talk about. You can't. No.
No?
Nope.
All right.
We'll
because-
see it. We'll see you in round 4.
All right, fine. No,
Dave.
I just think it makes it. I know what you're talking about the ACC.
you know what I'm about to say.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, but I'm not on tilt. The Blue Devil's a motherfucker. I like it. I'm happy with the pick. All right, White Sox Day, back to you.
I'm gonna go to the Big Ten. Big Ten, now that I think about it, is kind of like they got kind of lousy mascots as a whole. I hate to say that, but I'm gonna take what I think is the next best Big Ten pick because the rest just kind of suck. I'm gonna go with Purdue Pete.
He's a good one.
Unfortunately, Purdue football has sucked for a while now, basically since Drew Brees was there. But
shout out Kyle Orton.
Shout out Dan Durkin. You went to a couple of bowl games, I guess. But he's just a great mascot. Big ass head, which I think is a kind of a requisite for being a fake mascot that's actually got a costume mascot, I should say. Banging the world's biggest bass drum. If Purdue football was any relevant at all, I think that he would be like a household mascot because he's awesome. And the drum tradition that they have is great too. It's just that nobody really gives a fuck about Purdue football these days.
I love the drum. Purdue Pete, I think he's a good mascot. He does dress kind of like he's a member of the village. What is it? The Village People?
Yeah, he does a little bit.
So I don't
he's
know
got the construction hat.
Yeah, the hard hat. I don't know if that works for you or against you, but I agree that the Big Ten's a little bit light.
He's not even the best tough guy in the conference. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. I mean, I think
he's not even the best tough guy in the conference.
I know what you're going to say now, and he would beat that guy's ass.
Disagree.
A lot of popcorn muscles going around with the Big Ten. Yeah,
and he's got what? Okay, so he's got a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah. What does your guy
have? That's kind of tight, but
yeah, he just talked himself.
That's kind of tight that he's got a sledgehammer, but
yeah,
he's a
boilermaker. He's working on the railroads.
Yeah. No, I like Purdue Pete. I don't hate it, Dave, but I don't think it's a fucking groundbreaking pick for you to shit on the Blue Devil.
Yeah, I think Pete's better than the Blue Devil.
You think so?
Big time.
Definitely.
Big F, up to you.
All right, this one, I don't know how this is going to be received. I thought it might have got taken already. One of the more unique mascots in college sports, the Stanford Christmas tree. I mean, I just feel like this is one of the more, like I said, one of the more unique mascots you're going to see. It's different than obviously the Stanford Cardinals. Mascot's crazy looking. It's very unique. Like when you see the Christmas tree, Stanford Christmas tree. I think it's a solid pick here. I think it's good value here in the third.
I'm a Stanford tree guy.
I like the tree. The tree, it looks like it was just designed by somebody who's on like acid or something.
It's so Stanford.
Yeah.
It's so like Northern California. Also, it's not. I don't want to be like a nomenclature. It's not a Christmas tree.
Yeah, it's
Stanford
just a
wouldn't
tree.
do that, but it is a big pine tree. It's like a big.
It's supposed to be like a redwood, right? Isn't that like? Cause
I don't think redwoods are.
I don't think it's a redwood, but
okay.
It's a
redwoods are deciduous. Not what's the
what did you just say?
What's a scientific
That's a lot of
term?
gumption we got going.
I'll get gumped for you. I will get gumped for you.
Hey, it's a good pick.
Deciduous trees are the ones that change, like leaves fall, change colors and shit.
Yeah,
evergreens are the other one. I think.
I thought whatever. Yes. Okay. My only problem with the Stanford tree, and I might have this wrong. I don't even know if it's a problem. He answered the bell. That tree got into a fight with the mascot from Cal maybe like 15 years ago, like a full-on brawl. And it was not
actual?
It was not a joke. Like they were actually like the mascots fought each other, and it was not staged or anything like that. It was like we have to separate these two fucking mascots. And I want to say the tree took the wrong end of that fight. So something to think about.
Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? They seem kind of tough.
The tree's a tough costume to fight in.
It's
big,
true.
it's bulky.
That's true.
I mean, it might have went different. They take the heads off.
Yeah, you got a lot of lower weight with that fucking tree.
It's super wide. It's tough. Tough to throw.
It's funny. The tree's very funny too. They dance around. I think they have pretty loose rules for what the tree's supposed to do during basketball games. Because you usually see the tree gets when they call timeout, you'll see that tree walk out onto the free throw line and shit and fuck around.
No. Anytime you can give me googly eyes, I automatically like you. A googly eye is good. It's funny. It'll cheer you up. Yeah, I like a good googly eye.
I'm a tree guy.
He likes to wiggle the hips a little bit. He
can
move.
Mm-hmm.
The
Exactly.
tree can move for a tree.
Carl, to you.
4th round, 3rd overall. I'm taking Sparty. I think Sparty's a better pick for the Big Ten than Purdue Pete, just for a couple of reasons. But this to me again is a classic mascot. It's just like this ridiculous looking cartoon character. You find some sophomore, junior is going to wear it. They're going on the road. It's like, what do you do? It's like, yeah, I'm Sparty. You get liquored up beforehand. I feel like it's the type of mascot where there's a bond. You've been in it. The guys who wear the Sparty costume know each other. It seems like a very fun one too. I like the Michigan State student body. They're probably on the lower end of taking themselves seriously across the Big Ten, where you got Illinois guys like me that are fucking, tight assholes going into accounting tests. You've got other people who are like, yeah, I go to Northwestern, or people like Ev that are just so diehard passionate about Ohio State. You can't even no offense, Ev. It's like sometimes around football season, you can't really talk to guys like you because you're so in on Ohio State. Michigan State people are so grounded in the fact that they just love the party and they love Michigan State, and they're not trying to be anybody other than Michigan State people. I like Sparty. Boom.
White.
Yeah.
I hate that chant. Okay, so like
It's
yep,
so simple.
we know your colors. That's a very simple chant. Good for you guys.
It's go green, go white. And it is annoying.
It's interesting too because if we weren't Midwest guys and we weren't, Big Ten rooted, Sparty goes higher.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really
think
think
so?
he goes.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I think
so.
he's looked at nationally as a lot cooler than we view it. We're just like Michigan.
I know it's a
State.
college football draft, but like his presence with the college basketball team, obviously Michigan State's I would say a blue blood basketball program. He's
still
got national
I still think
appeal.
I still and listen. I know the Blue Devils not as good as Sparty. I'll concede that, but I still think they both stand on their own, in my opinion.
You know Sparty's name.
Yeah,
His name is
everybody
Sparty.
knows. Yeah, Brutus. Sparty.
It's just fun. It's a fun mascot. Like I'm a Spartan.
Yeah.
I have my Goofy Orange. I got my Pistol Pete. I have my Spartan.
Like if I went to Michigan State, my Christmas tree would have a Sparty on top.
I love that.
Like I would have like all like the ornamental shit of Sparty because he's
You
just
take
so
pride in
rude.
that
Yeah.
mascot.
Hey, would
yes.
you rather have a Sparty logo tattoo, or would you rather have like your Michigan big, like it's just an M? Like,
block
what's a
M.
better logo? It's just like the block M or or like the silly.
I looked it up. They don't have a mascot at all.
I was gonna say. Now that I
they
think
do.
about it, do they even have a mascot?
That's so fucking
they
Michigan.
don't have a
Yeah.
little
Those-
fucking
those-
Wolverine.
They of
Look
all
at
the
Big F shaking his head.
The Big Ten I talked about of people believing themselves. Northwestern obviously are the smartest people in the Big Ten. But you would, if you ask Michigan, they'd say it's Michigan people, and it makes me fucking sick. It's a great school, but those kids are just
Michigan thinks they're Stanford.
they're not.
They're not.
They're a great,
It's a great
they're
school.
one of
Sure
the best
is.
schools in the Midwest. You're probably a fraction behind Virginia from the perspective of great national powerhouse public universities. And I say that as a guy who went to Illinois, who's a tick below Michigan. I get that. I'm not,
Yeah.
but you ain't fucking Stanford, kids.
Right. Agreed.
Big Ev, I would love for you to comment on that.
They're the pinnacle of mediocrity. Where when they're at their best, they're just one of the best. They're too fucking I don't know what for a mascot. I mean, like you guys also, they think they're something that they're not. They're
Yes.
just, and now I think that they're going to give Harbaugh the extension. I almost think they're starting to realize who they are. They're middle of the road, middle class. That's all they'll ever be. Trash.
I did read with that extension that there's like the buyout's super low, so it'll be able to, it like allows them to cut bait as soon as they want. So I to your point, I don't think they realize that they're just a pretty good athletic program right now.
Hey, Ev, I got a question for you. Would you rather have Michigan kind of come back, like be in that mix for top 10, top 15, or do you just like blowing them out, like have that be like a big game that means something, or do you just be like, we'll beat them by 60
Great question,
again?
actually.
Dave on the college football show a couple weeks ago tried to put my brain in a pretzel with this question. I'll say it like this. In I guess it would have been 2018, when we went for the college football show, me and Dave went to the game and we dropped 60 on Michigan when they were, I think at the time they were the number 2-3 team, undefeated. That victory is so much sweeter than just like it would have been this year where they're
So
nobody.
you want both. You want both.
It's like-
you want to have them be good and kill them by 60.
Yeah, I mean it's we're gonna kill them no matter what. If they're good, bad, we're just better. We're just bigger, faster, stronger. That's it. Bigger, faster, stronger, smarter. In every facet of the game of football, we are better. But I mean, I'd rather them be a little better. Sure. I'd rather there be some hype before the game, so then we just crush their dreams instead of just being like, we're gonna not play because we know you're gonna win by 60.
Now, Ev, you're not from Ohio, correct?
No.
Yeah,
New
see,
York.
like growing up in Big Ten country, like I did not miss that game. Now it's just like I wouldn't even pay attention to it.
It's
It'd
when
be just
now
like
it's
a whatever game.
I think it's like 15 of the last 16 or something like that. Like it's 7-8 in
Right.
a row, and they're not close games. Like even the one that when we dropped 60 when I went, we were actually underdogs in that game, which was crazy. But I mean, that was really the only year even recent. I mean, they've had a couple of close games before that, but I mean, once Urban came, Ryan Day, I mean, they just have no chance.
Closing time.
And the gap is only getting wider. That's the issue for them.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yep.
It's a damn shame.
Well, Chief, it's back to you.
Back to me. I feel great about this pick. So I am a live mascot guy. I don't know if this I guess they got the horses. I'm going with the Sooner Schooner, Boomer and Sooner, the two horses that pull it. That you want to talk about another thing that's college football? That's it. That fucking you want to, like the wagon. Like the wagon's coming out there. They're led by the two white horses, the people on it. Boomer Schooner. Let's fucking go.
I don't like it.
Oh, you're an idiot.
No,
You're an idiot.
Here's
I think
the
that's like
problem.
the best fight song.
Do you?
Oh, it's a
their
great
fight song.
fight
Their
song.
fight song is the best. Oklahoma is the best fight song. I agree. But however, I don't like that it's the Boomer Schooner. If they just had 2 horses and
it's all of it.
I know, but to me, it's like it's more so like they market the Boomer Schooner, and it's like just give me 2 horses, and that's all. You know what I mean?
Well, you have the 2 horses. I know, who are Boomer and Schooner, and they pull the Boomer Schooner.
But I don't like that they're under that umbrella. I don't like that Schooner umbrella.
Yes.
Does that make sense or no?
Yeah,
a little bit.
I mean, the Carl's got the video up right now where they just.
I
know the crash. Okay, I know the crash, but it's like, look at this, they don't have 4-wheel drive. That's a fucking wagon. Oklahoma.
Sometimes wagons crash.
Sometimes wagons crash. And Oklahoma historically is a wagon. Like, so it works on multiple levels. Like, that's a powerhouse program. That is college football. I love that tradition. Pull that wagon out there. 2 white horses. The Cowboys. Like, let's go.
All right. Boomer Schooner off the board.
I like saying the word too. Still my pick. I'm going to the ACC. I'm going Miami. Sebastian. So my first non-live thing. Sebastian the ibis, which is like a big fucking pelican. Another thing, when I think college football, I think Sebastian in that white smoke as they're coming out of the tunnel. I don't know if it's dry ice or the fire extinguishers or what, but when Miami, if you watch the old 30 for 30, or when I was a kid, rather high school, like that program was awesome. Miami was part of that. You're giving me a look like you hate the pick, Ed.
I'm giving you a look because I love the pick, and my draft is toast because of it. I thought Sebastian was a first rounder.
I love Sebastian.
I love Sebastian too. And I was like, wow, if I would have known he could have got back to me with my second and third, I probably don't go Oregon Duck there.
Okay.
Even though Oregon Duck I think is awesome.
Yeah.
What's an ibis?
And it's just put
it's
me
like
in
a pelican
pickle.
thing. I mean,
With the big gullet thing.
Because I couldn't have taken him and the Oregon Duck, right?
That's probably. I mean, you dominate the bird market.
I know, but I just don't think I could have done that.
Yeah,
it would look awful.
Yes,
I think I will.
Could you imagine
I love the
looking
Oregon
at the
Duck.
Jack graphic and seeing those top and bottom?
Yeah, there comes that real ornithologist. This guy.
I'd be like horny. I'd be like a horny duck fetish guy.
Yeah,
that'd be not a good look.
Yeah, but I look at. I mean, the Oregon Duck is awesome, but as far as bird mascots go, Sebastian takes a backseat to nobody. Like, he's right there in the conversation. Like you said, he is a first round mascot. I can't believe I got him in the 4th round.
Dude, he is.
I love Chief Osceola. I love Otto the Orange. I don't know that Sebastian is really behind
Otto
those guys.
competes with him. I think he's better than Chief Osceola, but I think Sebastian is. I love Sebastian. I'm so upset he went this late, and I could have got him in there.
He's a great mascot. I love my board right now.
Ed's trying to pop a doc the audience right now.
No, I'm not, because I don't
It's
think
not how the winner's determined either. Dave.
No, and I don't even think mine is bad. I think it's fine. But I'm just like, now that you see how everyone sees how shit lies sometimes, like, man, I wish I could have done this differently.
Sebastian was created because 1957 homecoming competition, student submitted Sebastian the Ibis.
Oh,
I like that.
I like that.
He first performed in a homemade Ibis costume.
That is good.
It's another one like Tennessee, Colorado, and some of the other ones we've said, like Florida State, like, I need Miami to be Miami again. Like, college football is just better when they're like, they get all the South Florida guys. They're a bunch of bad boys, and they come out, they're running out of that smoke. The whole ACC, college football would just be better if Miami was back.
Yeah,
I hope that happens someday.
So, and that's right. So I took the Blue Devil over that because I kind of had to. But I think that's better. But
it is. He's way better than the Blue Devil.
I know, and that's where I said, like, this is where I'm in a tough spot, but I still like the Blue Devil. Carl, back to you.
I'm gonna take Cosmo the Cougar from BYU. Probably the most high-performing, technically advanced mascot. Just say it, Chief. Look at the camera, Chief. Look at his disappointment. This guy can do anything and everything. He's a break dancer. He gets the crowd going.
The dancing is
the dancing's awesome.
He's basically like one of the cheerleaders, and they do the videos with him. He's great. Cosmo the Cougar.
He leads the cheer squad.
Yeah,
yeah.
He's
it's
like
amazing.
the head of the BYU.
Doesn't get enough national love.
He doesn't.
He's incredible.
It's like what's
Dude, he looks so
the
high,
Haka
though.
dance or whatever at Hawaii. Like, he basically leads that for BYU.
He looks so blazed, dude. He's like, his eyes aren't open.
Dude,
Cosmo the Cougar.
He's so fucking sweet. And I in my head, I was going to, we're supposed to do the editorializing of the. I was going to take him in the last round and then just do a best of Cosmo dance moves because his dancing is just incredible. And you're right, Carl. Like, he gets the crowd hyped. Like, he's an awesome mascot. I really thought I'd be able to get him in the 5th round, and then I would just run away with this. Now I gotta strategize
He,
here.
for some reason, has first overall pick talent but he just isn't a first rounder.
Dude, he just did a backflip. He just did a standing backflip in the end zone.
Yeah, look at this. It's incredible. It's fucking incredible.
I feel like for the YouTube video, if Tom wanted to overlay some Cougar dance, this is insane.
He should be in the Sway House. Like, you know, like he's that good of a dancer. Ev, you know that. You know, like, how important TikTok dancing is. Like, Cosmo the Cougar should be on TikTok.
I mean, he's a showman in every aspect of the word. No question about it.
All right, Cosmo
Do you
the
think
Cougar.
he gets a lot of ass from other cougars?
They can't.
They soak.
They're inanimate?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
soaks with a female cougar.
Oh, yeah.
Soak
I
so
don't-
much.
You know
ever
how
soak, Dave?
girls have like words like moist they hate and cunt?
Yeah.
Like soak is my word that just makes me go.
Because
You gotta
of
have
the-
a lot of gumption to soak.
You have to have a ton of gumption to soak.
But what do you think of that? Can't you like soak like a sponge?
Yeah, that's another one.
You can go for a soak. Hot
Yeah.
tub.
Yeah, go for a soak.
But in a sexual context. it's
Sunday
just,
soaks. Shout out 108. Big Ev, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go with one I think is an underrated mascot, not a traditional football power. Wake Forest, the Demon Deacon. Maybe I would say actually not maybe the best dressed mascot there is. He got the top hat, wears a bow tie, jacket, but he also lives life on the edge. He drives a motorcycle onto the field before the game at Wake Forest. Slept on mascot, needed an ACC guy. I think he's a very underrated, really good mascot.
Yeah, he's got the monocle too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think that's the Commodore from Vanderbilt.
That's
which
what I'm thinking
is
of,
kind of why I took both of them off my board, because they're too similar.
He's terrifying, Big Ev. But I'm not saying it's bad, but he's a terrifying mascot. Like, there's,
What is a
kids
deacon?
aren't taking pictures with him. Like, they
But
see
just the
Santa
whole
and their
name,
fucking nightmares and him.
A deacon
The whole
is
name, just
someone
demon
who's
deacon?
ordained in the Catholic Church to carry out
There you go.
duties that's not a priest.
But he's a demon, so he's
demon deacon.
That makes it even better for
What
me.
were you
actually.
saying, Big F? Sorry.
I'm
He's
saying
an oxymoron.
just the name itself, the Demon Deacon. That sounds like a bad motherfucker.
Sure does. I will say, I
Ugly
like
son
the
of a
Demon
bitch, but good
Deacon.
mascot.
I like the Demon Deacon better than the Blue Devil.
Yeah, I do
Ooh,
too.
okay.
Yeah.
I definitely do. The Blue
I
Devil's
don't, but
just
I
whatever.
like the Demon Deacon.
Like the Devils is such a prevalent name.
But the Blue
amongst
Devils is not,
sports.
bro. Devils are red.
They got the Blue Demons 10 minutes from here. I mean,
Okay.
it's similar, not the same, but like that's part of the fun of college football and college sports in general. You got all these weird fucking names out there.
Yeah, but whether
Like
you
the
like this football,
Boilermakers.
basketball, or not, like the Blue Devil has been propelled into the fucking spotlight. Like it's a fucking big
People know
player.
it. It's got
people
brand
know it.
recognition. It has more brand recognition than the Demon Deacon,
Fuck
for
yeah,
sure.
and,
Definitely.
and the Blue Demon. That's insulting to compare it, Dave. Well, you're insulting. You're up.
I hate to do this because, and I did this for the college football jersey draft too. They got, I mean, you could argue that they're the sweetest uniforms in college football. Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I got to go with the Leprechaun. It's
Fuck
just such
you.
an awesome.
I wanted that.
I mean, and I wanted to kind of stay away from the live because I just drafted Chief Osceola and Renegade, but the Fighting Irish. I mean, they do kind of
Big Notre Dame guy.
perpetuate Irish stereotypes, which I'm fully against since I'm like Irish and everything, and I don't like how they just assume I fight people all the time. But it's a sweet fucking mascot. Sweet fucking mascot. He's got the little fucking come on, let's fight stance.
Fuck.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I like the logo. I don't like the live.
But see,
Guy.
the live guy, I love it because it's just some fucking. And listen, the
college-
problem is
yeah.
you know it's a Notre Dame kid, so you know he's probably like a nice, like just smart kid.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just picture like the fucking little rattiest motherfucking Irish guy at the bar who
Yeah.
actually is like that and has wanted to do that his whole life. Like I grew up all like,
Yeah.
and people dressed up as that guy all the time. Carl, you know that.
Yeah.
You know people like.
My buddy from high school's older brother was Leprechaun for a year, and it was like the biggest deal when we were in high school.
Hey, wait.
Yes.
And that's my miscellaneous pick, just so everybody knows.
Well, yeah, you lose a conference now.
Yeah.
I gotta check that a little more now that we're here, to make sure all conferences are online. I've just been kind of giving everyone the benefit of the doubt. But I just love the fact that it's just some fucking smaller guy who's just angry and wants to play that. I think
Wants to
it's good.
fight people.
But
And
I
you-
can see where you're coming
See,
from.
like my thing is when he's in the stands in the student section, like he's just some, like you said, some student that's just fucking loaded, and he's the mascot. I love it. It's awesome, and it's probably the most synonymous, famous, most not respected but noticed mascot in all of college football. I'd say.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I don't. He's not my favorite, even though I'm a big Notre Dame fan. I also think like for the non-Power 5 picks, the gap between Cosmo and the Leprechaun is the Grand Canyon. I think Cosmo is like so much sweeter than the Leprechaun. So something I don't know. We'll see, Dave. We'll see how it plays out. You're Indiana heavy right now too.
That is true. I got 2 Indiana schools.
Yeah.
I had Butler, but that we can't pick Butler.
Yeah.
I had him on originally. Butler blew the Bulldog from Butler.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it's to me. I got 2 picks here. Kind of the same thing here. It's a very thin conference. They're known for their basketball laurels, so it's going to hurt me because they suck at football. But regardless, it's a national brand. And when you think of the Kansas Jayhawk, I like the Jayhawk.
Big J.
Rock Chalk Jayhawk.
It's a great chant.
Great chant. I think the Jayhawk is a top 3 Big 12 mascot. So that's where I go.
We're going to have to explain to people that this is a football draft.
I'm going to put college mascots, and I'm going to put
Oh, see, here's Red Ed checking in.
College football
because I said I'm going to put,
mascots.
and I'm going to put in parentheses NCAF.
No.
Why?
College.
Yeah, why?
College football.
Because these are the same
mascots.
these are the university's mascots.
They are not.
No, but we used the parameters of like football of identifying the
exactly.
mascots.
Yes.
Because then people, if you say mascot football, then like Demon Deacon just falls away. Then Demon Deacon doesn't even become a mascot.
Yeah, but if it's not football, then I probably don't take Boomer Schooner. I probably don't take Ralphie. Like those are like, we're talking college football. Like you're picturing the guys running out on the field. You're taking Bevo. Bevo's not walking in the gym. Say college football.
I get your point, but I
Ed.
don't. I think it's. I'm telling you, it was under the guise of what Carl just said.
Just put it on the graphic the right way.
Yeah, do the right thing, Ed.
It'd be a real shame if we had another flurry of Red Ed communist dictator.
Sorry, Ed, I'm with you.
Memes out there.
I mean, there's nothing I can do about
What's
these
wrong
guys,
with
Well, what
college
about this?
football mascots?
People want to put like Chief is strong arm in the draft right now.
I'm not strong arming anything. I just want things to be done the way we said they were going to be done.
It would be a shame if someone.
You want to put college football in fine print in parentheses, like it should be
What's
the
wrong
college
with
football
parentheses?
mascot draft because you know what you're
It
doing.
would be a real shame if someone photoshopped your mustache right now and took the sides off.
That's Carl.
It would be a real shame.
Oh, wow. You know where he was going with that.
He called me the H man.
Well,
he called you the
he's
H-man.
trying to strong arm the draft right now.
I'm not strong on anything. I just want
Whatever. I don't care. The Jayhawks cool, and the Big 12 mascots generally suck. I also in my head wanted to take blue too. Then I realized they don't have a fucking football team. So
Butler?
That sucks,
Butler has
yeah.
a football
Yeah.
team. They're D1.
I know, but they're not. Are they D1 now? I thought they're
no,
D1 AA.
They're 1 AA.
That doesn't count.
They
Doesn't
play.
See, credit to me.
Credit to
They
you, Ed.
play.
First time.
But yeah, I had them on my list originally
Blue's
too.
fucking awesome. All right, my final pick. I'm going to go Big 10. Keep it simple. I'm going Bucky. I think
That's a layup. Yeah,
that's
definitely
the,
layup.
That's the next best one. Not a ton to say about it. Just it's my final pick. Bucky the Badger. Great name. Maybe the best name.
Bucky's awesome.
Yeah.
The only thing, like, it can, not similar, same colors, more or less. It can kind of get confused with Ohio State because Buckeye. But if you grew up in where we grew up, Bucky, I mean, household name. Wisconsin's my favorite fucking school to party at when I was growing up. Bucky, awesome 5th round pick, and it makes up for the shit that's in the middle of your draft. Stinks.
I think my draft is fine. Unlike you taking some problematic ones possibly. But continue. You're up.
See, Ed's trying to pull the R word, and
Did Uga come from a puppy mill?
yeah, no, he didn't.
Yes.
Purdue
Pete. You know how Purdue Pete treats his family?
Here we go.
He's wearing a wife
Slanderous
beater
Ed.
T-shirt.
That's what I'm saying. Leprechaun stereotypes. Wow, your draft is problematic as fuck. Dave.
Well, it's
We
gonna
might
get-
have to leave him off the poll just to save our
holy
ass.
shit, Dave. Let's hear your last pick because I'm concerned now.
I'm gonna target the horse and the equine market for my last pick. I'm gonna go with Traveler from USC. Obviously, Trojans and Spartans kind of go hand in hand with each other. Ancient Greece, and I think that Traveler is better than Sparty the Spartan from Michigan State. It's a live animal. The costume is awesome. I like the colors better too. The gold and the like maroon or whatever is just fucking awesome. That's and USC football, like it. I mean, I know they're on down times, but growing up, they were the program, and
I hate to say it because it breaks my heart, but maybe the best fight song too.
Oh,
very good too.
No.
And they got
The song
thing.
girls.
Yeah.
Do you know what it takes?
Ooh.
Like the cheerleaders for USC. So they're like the dancer cheerleading team. They're the premier one, but there's only like 12 of them, and they have full roster bios online the way that like the football team does. It is such a big fucking deal to be a song girl for USC. I know this because my girlfriend in college was on the dance team when we went to the Rose Bowl, and it was like drama leading up to the Rose Bowl. Like, those song girls are like, I don't like those sluts. We're gonna out dance them at halftime. And I was like, let me do some research on these girls.
I'm going to be stalking each and every one of their Instagrams later.
They are. They're the hottest. I think they're the hottest girls in college.
They are. They definitely are, and they also like probably have the most conservative uniforms, and they're still the hottest.
Oh, I know. That's just it.
They're
Like the
sweater.
old school. Yeah.
Sweater from 1955, and it's like, damn, that works.
A long sleeve turtleneck sweater.
The only thing,
them so fucking hot.
The only thing, and this is Dave. Like you've had a pretty good draft. So I'm kidding aside from what I said earlier. I hate Traveler. For some reason, it reminds me of those hardos that would dress up as 300 for Halloween, just so they could fucking take their shirt off. You know what I mean? You remember those guys?
Yeah.
And for some reason, I was always synonymous with them, so I was just never a big Traveler guy. But
you're thinking of the wrong Greek city-state. That would be
I
Sparta.
may be.
Sparta.
Listen, I may be. But I'm just that's just
Troy. It would be Troy, correct?
That's just what I think about when I think
Troy
of
was
Traveler.
in Turkey, but
close enough. Constantinople.
Yeah. Istanbul.
Oh, boy.
All right, Big F, you're up.
All right, well, my last pick, sleeper,
Byzantine.
SEC, kind of a 2-for-1. We got Albert and Alberta the Gator. Strong mascot. Have been strong at football and basketball. Wears his little hat. Got the shirt going. My mascot fucks. He's got his girl with him all the time. Ride or die. Loyal. I think the Gator's a solid pick. I think it's best available.
it was on my board for SEC, so I like Albert too. And just like the chomp, like the gator chop is awesome. And then like everyone, he does like the Sebastian thing. I don't know why it's cool, but he pulls his mouth apart and like diagonally, and Sebastian does that too. Like it's just, I don't know. There's something about it. The Florida mascot, it's a good one.
Yeah, that's a high value in the 5th round, I think.
I would agree.
The gator,
I think so.
You get the chomp. Very,
do you
mascots
think they have,
can't talk, so they got to do something.
Gator sex, Ed?
Maybe. Do you think Alberta has fuck me eyes like you think Nala from The Lion King does?
I wouldn't be surprised if you laid her on her back. She gave that seductive look.
For those that don't know, Dave really wants to bang Nala from The Lion King.
I think she's hot. I don't know what's wrong with that.
That's not a joke.
And Ed wants to bang Lola from the Toon Squad.
Space Jam, yeah.
Space Jam.
Thank you.
Alberta's got a pretty short little skirt on her too, kind of like the USC song girl. So.
Would you do group sex or no?
As Ed would say, her puss is basically hanging out of it.
All right.
I mean, that's what he would say.
Ed does say puss.
No,
Ed
see
does say puss.
now we're intercepting radio conversations onto here.
Yeah.
And it's like, some people are probably like, who the fuck are these guys? But no, this is this is not
Anyways,
whatever.
Didn't that when you guys came for the with the Bears Bucks stream, that Dave used to say he's gonna go out and go scurry up some cunt? Wasn't that a thing?
that is something Dave says.
It's not that I say it often. It's that I've said it because I know 2 people from New Zealand who say it like that.
And
because
you
it's
like
just
the
like
reaction you
Yes,
get.
it was hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, well, obviously you do it for the reaction.
Like Dave just loves that. Like there's a big Bears fan who lives in Australia, and he'll always send me videos like, "What's up, you cunt? The fucking Bears gonna win this weekend, cunt." And it's like meant as an endearing term. Dave likes the endearing side of it,
exactly.
Which is not the case in America, but that's
what I like about it. It's like awesome word.
And that's why you just say overall you're just misunderstood, right?
Yeah. I would say I'm very misunderstood.
And you're a group sex guy?
With animals.
Yeah, with Alan Alberta.
All right. Carl, you need a final pick. I think you need SEC or Pac-12.
Yeah, Pac-12 sucks. There's nothing notable Pac-12. SEC, there's 2. There's a live animal one, and then there's a famous mascot. And I want to pick the animal, but I want to go slowly into the water here because I don't want to get annihilated for this pick. But I want a live animal, and literally the only last one that's left is Bully from Mississippi State.
Okay. I couldn't even picture him.
He's like a tan bulldog, right?
So if you guys are okay with me taking Bully for Mississippi State because I want to get a live animal on the board.
No, absolutely.
And
by
I
all
don't
means.
have a poll for the other one.
I will never say no to a
why
bulldog.
why would we not say yes?
I'll reveal when we come in and record next week then.
He's going to be like, hey, Brandon Walker.
No, I'm not going to say anything to Brandon Walker.
Oh, that's what
I'm not
it
gonna say
fucking
shit
is.
to Brandon Walker. But I know that when this mascot graph goes out, listen, I don't have to say this to anyone. I could play dumb. I don't.
Oh, you're worried that people are going to say pander?
All my poker hands are fucking played out like heads up. I don't have cards here. I'm just telling you, here's what probably would happen then. I take Bully, Brandon Walker then retweets it, and then I'm going to get another 8% of the vote.
Yep, that's true.
You guys had a chance to take Bully. Now, so do you guys want me to take somebody else?
So you don't even like Bully?
Dude, this is a crossroads of the podcast because I have 2 picks left. It's Bully, and it's another one from the same conference. Neither moves me the other way, so I'm looking at this like, well, I know if I put Bully on here.
I don't think that Bully is the best dog left in the SEC.
Really?
Yeah. Can I say it?
Can you guys give me 1 second to see if I can come up with... No, give me the Texas A&M dog.
Reveille.
I didn't even know that's the name.
Oh, I didn't know. I think Reveille is a lot more famous than Bully.
Take Bully, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, take Bully.
As long as it's not like... Well, then it's going to be like...
I can't be held responsible for how people react to that pander pick, but...
Is it pander?
Oh, man, you just said why you're picking it.
No, I'm saying I'm split. So if I'm completely split 50-50, I'm asking, is it I could take somebody else here.
You can take it.
Take it. I don't want to.
I have a
take it.
No,
If
let's
you take
I
it
don't want
without
it.
having
I want
to-
it. I want
Just
Aubie
take
the
it.
Tiger. I want Aubie the Tiger. Last one.
Auburn.
I'm taking Aubie the Tiger.
Okay.
Aubie.
Yeah. I don't want the constant cloud around my titles.
Okay. You sure?
And I'm saying this because I know you already have an SEC taken. You've already
I do.
taken the SEC.
Yeah.
But you guys agree with my analysis about Brandon Walker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're-
I mean, that would have been the most blatant pander pick maybe in the history of snake drafts.
I don't know.
Would be one of them.
Carl's had a lot of big time pander picks.
Yeah.
Oh, please. Okay.
That's all
I
he
took
does is
D2
pander.
first overall.
All right.
You good?
Mr. Irrelevant.
I wanted Cosmo here. It went earlier than I thought. I thought he'd be on the board, so I can't do it. I'll go to the Big Ten. I got like a very 90s, early 2000s board in terms of like college football power mascots and power teams. I'm going Herbie the Husker, Nebraska. He is a ridiculous looking person. I don't really have a ton of. You guys don't like Herbie?
No, I think he's fine.
I think he's great.
I think
he's
it's missionary sex, then a great day in bed.
I will never hate on missionary sex.
Well, I mean, it's like
I do.
Okay.
Because I'm
Jesus,
fucking
Dave.
What?
fat.
Well, 'cause-
Jackhammer
I
Dave?
feel like I'm squashing him. Never mind. We're not going to talk about this. Good. Next subject.
Jackhammer Dave hates. All
yeah,
right.
Herbie Husker. Like I, the overalls, the big red hat. He's got the straw in his mouth. Like he's an iconic looking guy. Iconic program historically. I think he's a great mascot, and you can't beat it.
I like it, especially Mr. Irrelevant. You needed someone there. I think that's a good pick. I like one more kind of in the Big Ten, but I probably would have went with Herbie as well. So I appreciate your pick, Chief. So
Hey, thanks,
I'll get
lad.
this out there. I think Willie the Wildcat kind of stinks. And
All
the
right.
Wildcats just.
Well,
such
hold
a
on. Let's
fucking-
do. Let me read them through, and then we'll do a couple honorable mentions here. Then we'll get out. Eddie, the Duck from Oregon, Mike the Tiger, LSU, Blue Devil, Duke, Jayhawk, Kansas, Bucky, Wisconsin, White Sox Dave, Uga, Georgia, Chief Osceola, Florida State, Purdue Pete, Purdue, Leprechaun, Notre Dame, Traveler, USC, Big Ev, Brutus the Buckeye, Ohio State, Bevo, Texas, Stanford Tree, Stanford, Demon Deacon, Wake Forest, Albert and Alberta, the Gator, Florida, Carl, Otto the Orange, Syracuse, Pistol Pete, Oklahoma State, Sparty, Michigan State, Cosmo the Cougar, BYU, Aubie the Tiger, Auburn, Chief, Smoky, Tennessee, Ralphie, Colorado, Boomer Schooner, Oklahoma, Sebastian, Miami, Herbie the Husker, Nebraska. Okay? Honorable mentions.
Can I give you the one that I couldn't take him? But I'm shocked that the West Virginia Mountaineer as a person wasn't taken.
You like that one, Big Ev?
I liked West Virginia. Yeah, he was someone Bevo was too good to pass up in the Big 12, but he was one I had in mind.
Daniel Boone.
Mention.
Exactly. He's got the Davy Crockett, Daniel Boone look. Like I think he's got the rifle. I think that's sweet. You can definitely picture that guy lighting a couch on fire after a big game in full costume. Like I think the Mountaineer, I'm surprised he didn't get drafted.
I think what shies people away from it, it's a little bit of a poor man's Florida State kind of thing. Like I think it's sort of similar, but it's still I'm a fan of it. I like the Mountaineer.
Yeah, I think he's better than the Jayhawk too. So I think that's Ed. You might be off the graphic.
I was just about to say I think Ed's got to be the one left off the graphic this week. That's not for me to decide, but if I had the choice, Ed, you'd be.
Well, I'm the only one that could take accountability around here, so I don't think I had the best draft today. I could say that. Okay. Sebastian threw me off. I didn't think he'd go that late. I probably switched things up, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Big Al, Alabama, that's surprising.
I don't love Big Al. You know what I don't like about him? Is that his trunk has no he's got a flaccid trunk, I guess is the way to say it. It's like I want that trunk to like kind of I don't know, move like a real elephant trunk, and he just like moves it around with his
head. It's not authentic
Why not
enough for you?
Yeah, it's not.
Big Al is not authentic enough for Chief.
Why not? I mean,
he's pandering with that nose.
We got live fucking tigers and lions and
having a
bulldogs.
live elephant.
Why not get a fucking live elephant?
Yeah.
The greatest mascot is
Ride him in like
Ace
Prince
Ventura,
Ali.
the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Was that a 94 movie?
Ramsey.
Yeah, it was. I drafted it. Yeah.
Ramsey from UNC.
Rams from UNC. I think the Cav Man is fucking hilarious looking.
The what?
The Cav Man.
Yeah,
I think the Cav Man's funny.
That's a good one.
Buzz, Georgia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12's not good.
No, it's not outside.
I like the
Bevo
TCU Horned Frog.
Do you?
That's kind of good.
I actually do. I put that maybe 4th or 5th. I think the Pac-12 is by far the worst.
You think so?
Pac-12 is not even. I don't even know what they look like.
Yeah.
That could just be like our Midwest bias, though. We're not staying up.
No, Benny Beaver's okay.
He's okay.
He's okay. Sparky's not bad either. ASU.
He's not bad.
ASU, the devil.
I like the Vatek Hokie, the turkey.
Yes, I like that too.
I like that one too.
Harry the Husky.
Yeah.
Baylor Bear, just because it's a bear.
What do you guys think of the? What do you guys think of the Nittany Lion? I'm just curious.
I don't think it's very good.
I don't think it's very good.
I don't think so either. I think he looks malnourished. He looks like a cat.
Yeah, and I would definitely take. I don't know if cougars and Nittany Lions are the same or cousins or what, but like the Cosmo Cougar is way cooler than that.
They gotta be cousins.
Agreed, for sure.
There was one other one. Oh, about the Baylor Bear. I went down there. I can't remember why I was down there, but I like went on Baylor's campus, and they have a live bear. I don't know if he's still there because it was like a hot day, and they had this giant brown bear, and he's like in this like pit. Like it was supposed to be like his like little home, but it was like probably the size of our office, and it was like a little. It was like depressing how they treated. How
That's why I don't like the Lincoln Park Zoo.
Yeah, same thing with the Lincoln Park. Yeah. It was very. It was like way too small. Like the bear just looked very sad, so I could never take that bear.
I don't hate Goldie the Gopher.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's okay.
He's all right.
I think
and that one big thing is non-Power 5 Big Red, that big red looking thing from Western Kentucky.
The blob.
It's a big blob.
Yeah.
If we were opening it up to non-basketball schools, I had UC Santa Cruz, the Banana Slugs. That's just fucking awesome. And then the Anteaters from UC Irvine.
Oh, St. Joe Hawks.
That's why I was potentially good. He just never stops flapping his wings the entire game.
Carl, any honorable mentions?
I really ground my list in the ones I wanted to talk about. The only thing I had left was the Harry Dog from Georgia because I didn't know how you guys would interact with that because he is a true mascot.
Yeah.
With the costume, and I like him with the collar around his neck and everything. Just out of respect.
You got the shoulder pads.
Yeah, he's a really cool. Anytime you put your mascot in the uniform of the team he's supporting,
I like that too.
Does he wear the football uniform at basketball games though? Because that's poor taste. Or do they change him out? Like he's at women's gymnastics and they put Harry Dog on like a singlet.
That would be funny.
Tom Crean would change that.
Yeah.
Big Ev, any other honorable mentions?
The only one I saw, which I would never draft this, just based on name alone. I think it's an awesome name for a mascot. Yale refers to their bulldog as Handsome Dan.
I like
that. Is a great name.
Unreal name for a mascot, just a bulldog named Handsome Dan.
I didn't know that was his name.
Oh, man.
I had Cocky the Gamecock. down my list.
All right, so I guess that's it. Well, Chief wants college football mascots, implying that they're only for football and they're not for basketball. Doesn't make much sense to me. But
of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't. You got Duke. Like you took a Final Four team, and that's why you had all these fucking doormat football programs, and you're like, oh, You might as well just drive. Oh, like it's the Cameron crazy. It's like you'll put the Duke Blue Devil, you'll use a picture in the basketball arena. Like, I know how you work. And be like, oh, well, it's fine print.
No, I took accountability here. Okay.
Big Ev, it's a pleasure, man. You're a real expert with college sports. We love talking to you. Thanks for coming on.
I love you guys. Appreciate it. Anytime.
Yeah, thanks.
See you soon, Ev.
Good luck, Ev.
Sure,
Good luck on the graphic.
Good luck tonight, too. All right, everybody, that's it for today. We'll catch you tomorrow.